today to do the inspection on an electric vehicle. Look at these Amazon vans, right? They are just battered, and then some people buying them somewhere in auctions. It's just unreal. It's just unreal how they treat them. But yeah, I am on a way to Cargiant. I'm in the north west London, and it's very close to the Shepherd's Bush, and it's a bit of traffic, like always, 20 miles an hour speed limits. So we are heading up to it, and the Cargiant is like a bloody city with bureaucracy. It's just such a huge. It's basically one of the biggest used car retailers in the UK. So it's like a small city, right? It's just everything is just too overcomplicated to get there, to get arranging inspections. As all these like Cargiant, big motoring world, they have such a not welcome inspection policies, right? Pressure taxes on sales, and over the odd deposits they're asking from customers to secure it. It's just unpleasant feeling. I be there myself several times. Same from sales and everything, how it's organized. And preparation. Also, Car Giant sells thousands of. I think they sell about 1,000 cars a month, if I'm correct. Something around that. And most of the cars, obviously, they are cheaper cars compared to average market price, but obviously they both have like bodywork issues. They by what I have seen, it just looks like they are short-term, long-term leases, rentals, that sort of type of cars. Obviously, which will have more um, visual wear and tear present. And so here we go, Car Giant billboards. So all this land belongs to the Car Giant, right? So technically you're entering in a Car Giant here. So that's the main. I think that's the main office. It looks like a fish factory, right? Everything just gets outdated. It looks like they're renovating something. All the sales offices, everything looks like old. I think there has been one of the not first ones, but like a market type, supermarket type places. As you can see, is just huge. So it's all the way around on both sides. So they got sections like areas A, B, C, D, E. Electric cars, the separately BMs, Mercedes. So they do sell loads of it. Obviously, the organization, you got securities, um, etc. Move around is complicated. Arranging things is complicated. When the customer asks, they ask them to see the car. Ask pay deposit before they do the inspection. Maybe it's correct, right? But I mean, that's fine. That would be obviously okay. View the car, then book an pay deposit, refundable deposit, and then I think it's non-refundable. So that means if the vehicle will be not as described, obviously they will have to refund the deposit. As you can see, that's whole Car Giant. Everything's sort of boarded up, so they're more likely doing some sort of renovation and all this sort of factory. So everything all the way around, as you can see, is Car Giant land. So the workshop is on that right side, so I'm gonna enter there. So got arrival time today between 11 and 12, and by the time I'm gonna get probably through the security, it's gonna be 20 minutes. So yeah, everything is just a bit. Obviously, they have thousands of cars here. Security cars can be stolen. I understand, but it could be something more simpler done. They don't allow customer arranged inspection. They ask, obviously, once they got an inspecting company, they drop the need to email to workshop. So basically, the moral of the story is none of the cars are ready for sale, right? So that means they advertise the cars, but they're never ready for sale, and so they obviously workshop gets the car sort of ready. You know, it's not always sort of the vehicles will be serviced. To Cargiant, as far as I remember, their policy is they will never service the car if it even needs the service. You know, they will sell you sort of as is. They are pretty non-negotiable, you know, on with them on anything. So let me talk to the guy. All right, so yeah, I got inspection booked at the workshop for today. Pre-purchase inspection booked at the workshop. Yeah, I can go. I don't know the name, but it's a workshop. I know where to go. I can go, yeah? Okay, thanks. So this time they didn't ask me anything. But before they needed the permit, they have to go in the workshop, somebody have to come out. And it's just like, okay, I understand the security, you know, but clearly they can communicate and say there is an inspection coming if it's everything's just like so secured like in a bank, you know. But okay, it's just it is what it is. So that it's more likely that that's basically a workshop preparation where they prep the cars more likely, you know. Uh, so let's just get. I've been here several times, so I know where to go. They don't have any cars here, you know. Normally, unless they moved. Um, Everything's sort of shut. Let me just see. Looks like this place is shut. Let me just go to the next one. Let me just stop and check this entrance. Oh, that's closed as well. Probably they moved to that side. Let me go there. I will not take the camera inside, obviously, because it's not. More than will not like it. But you might hear me on a microphone. Okay. All right, man. Where's the... Let me just get a phone. Nah, this is just a mild hybrid. Mild hybrid box. Let's just see. I'm just whoever watching. I'm just testing it. You know. Just fit that for the road test. Yeah, I'm in a car giant, so. It's a corrosion spot, no good. I'm just testing also this shitty microphone, but we'll see how is the background noises. Does it actually take anything off? So yeah, it's an EV 2020 Kia Niro 4 2020, but it's 4.5 years old. It is a premium inspection on this. I asked him to fully charge it. Just do dynamic. On some electric cars you can see not state of charge but state of health. In some cars you can't, so it's just the aftermarket diagnostics. They start updating these parts, these sections for cars, you know. But I normally do dynamic assessment, ask fully charged battery. Then I compare the range, what's the manufacturer's range, and compared to when the vehicle is fully charged on a mains charger, and then I compare that mileage, what's left after full charge, compared to manufacturer indication, and then can see what is the difference, and then you can do just a basic calculation of the percentage-wise depreciation, deterioration. Yeah. For any abnormal issues, I look obviously. Again, on some cars, you can't see all the servo voltages, but any faults, any recent fault clearances, when you turn the heat pump on, you check how quickly any abnormal mileage drops in the rotors. So. Just doing a dynamic assessment now. So. Also, every electric car has a 12-volt battery. This Tesla's is problematic. You can't really check them because it's always on. DC to DC converter is always on. It's always charging the 12-volt battery, so it's always live. So, which makes it awkward. But at least they have sensors and will predict battery voltages in a diagnostic self-diagnosis. It's gonna throw up fault normally. The battery is weak. But on a Tesla also you wanna change every 4 or 5 years, just changing those batteries, keep them changed, but always fit original battery, not aftermarket. It's no price difference. Otherwise, it can start bringing some faults on. They did a thread on a high voltage cooling system, other way around, so people don't open it randomly. That's weird. Never seen that before. This is the coolant antifreeze. Looks nice blue condition. Mine's 37, so mine is 31. These simple old school checks, just you can see the antifreeze condition, the strength of it. You can see when it's been diluted with water, you know. So that means if it's been diluted with water, you had more likely coolant leak, you know. So that means the strength's getting weaker. These are just the smart checks, you know. This pre-purchase inspection is not a health check. It's potentially looking for potential sort of short-term, long-term problems, you know. So it's a bit slightly different approach, which helps me to see if the vehicle looking something has been done recently, you know, which can potentially be a problem. Battery is good, 12-watt battery. Okay, I need my torch now. We'll look on this video back, we'll see any background noises. Check the win number. It's actually, yeah, not 2020, 2021. 5.5. I mean, 4.5. For February expiry. MOT. 4th of February 2026. Let's check these lights. It keeps interrupting the stream for some reason. So annoying. So annoying. Got no idea why. That's so annoying. Got aluminium bonnet. So we lost some stream because this went into autosave, you know. So I'm just doing paint thickness readings and structural checks. with skiers normally everything is in 150 microns, you know. So the bonnet normally are on aluminium panels are thinner coat. There was 100 doors, things around 140, 120, 140. Yeah, that would indicate non-resprayed panels. Also for body shops who work with micro, with paint thickness gauges, right? If they know what is the sort of original thickness, but on paintworks it does vary manufacturer by manufacturer. They can get it to manufacture so the specs, right? But most of the time they don't. But if they do, which is rare, if there's no perfection, it's very difficult to tell. Let's see what's a D pillar, especially if it's a very high standard work. But nowadays, it's very rarely it's a high standard work because insurance don't want to pay the money. And obviously, for the repairers, there's a workmanship, good workmanship shortage, and time issue. Everything combined results to not a perfect job, right? And quality. These usually are around 100, you know. Not always I take also these leather straps off, right? Where I can see something dodgy goes with paint thicknesses. No, this is not right, right? As you would never ever gonna get to super perfection. I mean, obviously you can if you're willing to get it to perfection. But there is always something which would not look right, especially when the second-hand parts are used, you know. And especially when the second-hand parts are used. People normally ask, how can you tell? Obviously, when you do these things a lot and you check and you double check on cars how original stuff sort of looks, you know. So these ones obviously around 100. For people who don't know, obviously, you can always check the roof. Roof can you be measure? Also, the roof can be replaced as well, but you can always check the door inner sections. That will give you the also an A pillar approximate readings. Yeah, I mean all the pillar readings. So you can double check yourself. You know. So normally, it's not the half of what will be on a bodywork itself, but if this one is sort of 100, you know, then rest of the panels will be around 150, you know. and on a obviously you have a nice clear coat on a outside, and just spray dust on our inner sections, which is sort of looks sort of neat, right? And that gives an indication no one has been there. In regards to repairs, even I have suspicions, right? Where repair has been done to the very high standard, fine, it's just, it means it's a good repair, right? The biggest worry is, because like on a Tesla, so they got panel bonds where you replace it, put it back on a glue, and if you use original equipment, new parts, and it's done as new, you can't really tell. Skin is replaced. They have those stitching places in place, and somebody might not even notice that. So that's a high standard repair. There's nothing you can do about it. This boot is a bit thin. 75 is aluminium. It's still too thin compared to bonnet, which is 100, so it might be replaced and resprayed. These things are fun. Yeah, I think it's been replaced. There's a VIN number there, both of that one you can purchase a VIN sticker. So we'll leave that as is, because there's nothing shady can be seen. These readings also here. Genuine color, you know. Genuine paintwork. There are a few dust marks on this side. Yeah, I'll consider that. That's from factory. Sometimes they do leave some. I can see the boot too thin, you know. So the robot spread it too thin. Or maybe it's been a change for the boot, you know. We'll see what's underside. Or in a boot. Everything here is around 100, you know. Everything is nice and clean. Where did I put my phone? Let's take this one back. Good. Stream haven't shut down. So scratches on this seal. So, all good. Let's just check. Just check the chassis. The bracket seems to be fine. That can go back on. Everything looks neat. No crashes. Never done. Just keep this open for a second. Nothing looks like it. Nothing's been touched here. Yeah, this vehicle has high voltage battery diagnosis, so state of health is 100%. And this one was relatively straightforward. And cell voltages are normal. Let it runs all full diagnostic scan now. And now we'll